Are you looking for a different way to live when you move to Florida? Well, we're going to talk about if a solar city is really better here in Florida. There's a place called Babcock Ranch that is the first and only solar city in the United States. So we're going to get after that next. Hey everybody, my name's Craig Cunha. I'm a real estate agent here in Southwest Florida. If you've been looking for a channel to tell you everything about what it's like to live, play, eat, sleep, and buy real estate on the Gulf Coast, then this is the channel for you. So go ahead and subscribe and hit the little bell to make sure you're notified every time a new video comes out. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if there's something you think I missed and would like to know more about as well. I'm getting calls from people every day and I love it. If you've got a question that you need an answer to, you've got to call, text, or email because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast. Nowadays, everybody's into all the innovation and all the new stuff that's coming out. Everybody wants to put their hands on all the newest technology, all the innovations. It's just that novelty of having that first and seeing what it's like. Is it really worth it? Is it something I'm going to enjoy? Well, we're going to dive into what it could be like for you to live in Babcock Ranch. Many people have started moving out that way, looking for the green life, looking for space, looking to get away from maybe the craziness of a city. So we're going to look at some of the ups, downs, pros, cons, and good and bad of being in a small town and a solar town. Babcock Ranch is the first solar city and only solar city in the US as of right now. That does make it very unique, and it also makes it kind of that guinea pig of the whole process, where we get to find out what works and what doesn't work. There's a lot of innovations that are going to be going into the place. It's on about 18,000 acres, and there's another 870 acres of just preserve around it. So if you're a nature person, you just want to be close to getting your walk on. There's 50 miles of trails. So if you're into that kind of thing, it's definitely going to be a place for you. But we also want to look at some of the other things about regular daily life. Daily life is going to be a little bit different in a place like Babcock Ranch. Babcock Ranch is situated 15 miles northeast of Fort Myers, and it sits primarily in Charlotte County. There's a small portion that's still in Lee County, so it's far away from many of the conveniences. This place was built with 50% green space or lakes, and there is a field dedicated just for the 650,000 solar panels that sit on 870 acres. Yeah, that's a lot of panels. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of technology. That's a lot of things could go wrong. So the good side of things is this green technology, it's bringing all kind of innovation. There are autonomous vehicles that ride out there, mostly little trolleys that are set up. You can order them through an app, have it pick you up, take you somewhere there in the town. There's 1 gigabyte Wi-Fi everywhere throughout the community. So whether you go into the center of town, whether you're taking a stroll around town, you've got Wi-Fi all the time. There's also many solar panels outside of that big field I mentioned. There's a lot of them that are situated on top of the buildings, and there's even these trees or look-alike trees that are actually solar panels. Kind of cool. They have charging stations down below and everything. So there are a lot of neat qualities to this technology, and I can see where the interest is. But is this something you think you could live with all the time? One thing that I think we've all learned with technology is it's great when it works, and it's terrible when it doesn't. So if you have any kind of outages, if you have any issues with it, and you're not that tech person, you may find it frustrating to overcome that problem. So keep that in mind. Technology is something that's continually changing, and that means that you're going to have to continually change with it. Once again, because this is a green space, that means it's solar powered. That's another pro. This whole place is solar powered. So that means all the energy that is coming into this place when it's a bright sunny day, it's coming because of the sun. It's being transferred throughout the community, and there's normally extra power when that's happening. But the downside, you probably didn't think about this, what happens on a cloudy day? What happens at nighttime? This town is so large. Despite all those panels that they have out there, there's no storage system that's affordable to hold all that energy. So when the sun goes away, so does the power. Yeah, didn't think about that, right? So what they have to do is still tap into the local power company to power this city, because this city is going to be at some point 50,000 residents. Even though it's only 2,100 now, it's going to be 50,000. 20,000 homes, and I want to say it was 8 million square feet in commercial space. So that's a lot of power that's going to be needed out there, and there's nowhere to store it. Once again, it's just not affordable. So that could be a con to your expenses in that you're still going to be paying an electric bill whether you're on solar or not. Whether you're a social bug or not, this will give you that small town feel. You will be able to know your neighbors intimately. You're going to see people all the time. If you like that social aspect, this is going to be fantastic for you because you literally will know everybody. Just like a small town, like a college campus, a smaller college campus, like some schools that are in the area. That's the kind of feel that you're going to get. You will be running into people all the time. If you're a conversationalist and that's what you enjoy, then this may be a great place for you. Now the con. This is kind of obvious. I think you know where I'm going with this. If everybody knows you, that means they're probably going to know a lot about your business too. Gossip. It could be one of those detrimental things because when everybody knows everybody, everybody wants to tell about everybody, especially if they don't have a great relationship with them, because it's always keeping up with the Joneses or staying ahead of them. So be careful if you're not that person that likes to be that tight and close to your neighbors and the people you live around. This may not be a place for you. The other thing this small town kind of a field does as a detriment is that you're going to have limited job opportunities. And yes, I know a lot of things are going remote these days, so that could be beneficial for those folks. But if you aren't one of those, limited job opportunities, again, most of it's going to be service, or maybe you happen to have some kind of solar background. This could be perfect for you. There's also that medical facility within the community, and again, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But those are some of the opportunities. There's also a school within this town. Now, with the school, there's limited seating in this school. If you intend to move there and have your kid in this school, one of the challenges you're going to run into is if your grade level for your child has too many kids, you go into a lottery system to see if you can even get in the school. And if you can't get in the school, then you're going to have to commute to another school nearby. It appears on the map that the closest school outside of Babcock is Alva School, and that's still going to be a good 20 minutes or so to get to school. And lastly, again, because everybody knows everybody, the one thing you would think is rather obvious is the crime rates are going to be rather low. Since everybody does know you, there's little chance of getting away with anything. But hey, if you're still wearing masks, who knows? You might still get away with it. But in most cases, as you saw last week's video, most crime in the whole area here is all theft and small-time crime. We're not talking big stuff. So, out in Babcock Ranch, I'm going to pretty much say you'd be fine leaving your doors unlocked and feeling safe and secure even in the midst of that. Now, Babcock Ranch also has many of the conveniences. I briefly touched on this previously, but there is a grocery store. There is a medical facility. There is the school. There is some shopping, a restaurant, a gym facility, ice cream shop, and yes, a golf course too. The other thing that's coming up very soon is Publix. They're building to the south end of the town, so they will have that convenience coming very soon as well. Now, if you're not getting enough of the things that you want in Babcock Ranch, this is the con for you. 15 to 20 minutes to get to civilization, or at least to the things that you want. Therefore, there is limited entertainment outside of the things that I discussed. They occasionally have food trucks come in. They also have live bands from time to time. So there are some entertainment opportunities they do as a community. But if you're somebody that's always looking for something different, then you're going to be driving to get to most of it. And the beach, forget about the beach unless you're ready to do the hour-plus trip to get there, and that's highly dependent on traffic. If you're doing it in season, you might want to account for an hour and a half. I-75 is approximately 20 minutes away, and RSW, which is our international airport, you better account for about 45 minutes plus on that one. And again, highly dependent on time of year. Now, one of the pros about living in a small town like this, away from everything, is that the homes are usually more affordable. Cost of living, probably pretty affordable. So I did pull up some of the home listings out there to show you that these prices are very much in the median for the entire area, maybe even slightly below for what you're getting. You're also getting some home styles that are really unique, some Key West style homes. Some of them are wood frame, so if you're somebody that's averse to being in wood frame and needing block construction, make sure you ask the builder about that. But Very unique homes, very nice styling of the homes, and it gives that very different feel to the community and not so cookie cutter like it could be in many other communities. Now the con to that affordability thing that we talked about is there are amenities in right now and the fees are still relatively low. However, as amenities come in, the general rule for most every community is that the fees go up. It's just because the cost to run them and install them and have the staff to take care of the things, it all costs money. And even over time, you have contracts in place for a period of time, but these vendors are always changing pricing to adjust to the new cost for them as well. So keep in mind, fees may be low right now. However, an increase will happen at some point, and what that looks like, we just don't know yet. Now, another pro of being out in Babcock Ranch is the peace and tranquility. This is a very healthy place to put yourself. Low stress, lots of green space, like I had mentioned. It's rather quiet out there for the most part. And if you want it to be more quiet, get out on one of those trails in that 50 miles of trails that we talked about, and you'll find all the peace and tranquility that you can take. With all this green out there, aside from the fact that the oxygen's constantly being created, there's less pollution. Especially with these autonomous vehicles out there, obviously no pollution with those. A lot of people going out there that have Teslas as well, because this kind of feeds into the mindset. It really is a place for like-minded people. So if you're somebody into energy conservation and lots of green stuff, this very well could be the best place for you in Southwest Florida. Now with this peace and tranquility, it's also going to be a very slow pace with most everything, especially driving. So if you're somebody that can't stand slow drivers, this may not be the place for you. Another thing is this could turn into a repetitious situation with the lack of variety, and it could seem like you're almost on the Truman Show. But really, it could just become boring over time. So again, assess what you like in your life. What does your lifestyle look like? What's your activity level like? Is it all outside? Do you like to really mix things up a bit? If that's you and you want things mixed up, you might want to look twice at whether this could be the place for you. And lastly, as a general rule, aside from all the technology and all the other ways you can save money, the other way you're going to save money is that you're so far removed from things you would spend your money on normally, whether it's the bars, the restaurants, the clubs, the shopping at boutique shops, whatever that looks like. If you don't have it in close proximity and it takes you longer to get there and it's a little bit of a drive, you may not want to go. So this could be a great opportunity to save some more money. Well, that's a little bit about what it would be like to live in Babcock Ranch. Obviously, there's a lot more to know. This is just an introduction to give you an idea. If you'd like some more information about what it's like to live in other areas around Babcock Ranch, Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, Cape Coral, check out one of these other videos. And if you've got a question that you need an answer to, you've got to call, text, or email, because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast.